Hi, everyone. As everyone's getting into the workshop session today, just wanted to say a quick welcome. My name's Krista. I'm with Faber-Castell, and joining us is Leigh Ralston. So she'll be leading the workshop for you today. If you have any questions, you can go to the Ask Me Questions in the chat and send those my way, and I'll do my best to field those. And if I don't know the answer, I'll break in and let Leigh answer your question directly. In the chat, there is also two links. There's a Google Drive link for the workshop or for the worksheet that Leigh will be using today. So go ahead and click on that and pull your worksheet down if you don't have it already. And with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Leigh and let her get started.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good afternoon. It's another fun class with my cousin Faber-Castell. My name is Leigh. I am also known as Mommy Leigh online. Hello there. I hope everybody's doing well today. Hope everyone is in good spirit. I know I am. I am always in good spirit when we're doing something creative. This is something that I really enjoy, and I hope that you'll have fun in this class with me. Basically, what we're going to do, you're going to watch me draw, and I do hope that you have your paper, your markers, your pen, erasers, and colored pencils with you. In this class, I will be using Faber-Castell products. I'll be using mechanical pencil. I have some eraser, and also I will be coloring with the Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils. Okay, so if you're ready, we're going to head on over to the overhead camera and we'll get started. So like what Krista said, I created a handout. If you don't have it, it's okay. We'll still be able to do the workshop here if you don't have this handout. But you can always print this out and you can, color my drawing in here. And also I have a part where you can trace the image. And also you can then create your own drawing in here, still seeing the guide to your left that you can start over here. All right. So I am also using just a copy paper. This is a laser paper from HP. And we're going to use also some mixed media paper or a marker paper or a sketch pad. Whatever you guys have in there, that's going to be okay. All right. And then too bright, or green's too bright with the blue. That's pretty weird. All right. Okay. And then I have my colored pencils in here and over here too. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a little house cleaning first, which means we're going to talk about some of the basics before we get started with doodling. I have been doodling since 2015. I am actually a professional singer, but after I've had my last baby, that's when I stopped performing and I said, okay, I knew I needed to do something. I knew I wanted to do something. As a creative, I needed an outlet. And so if you are here today and saying that, you know what, I'm not really an artist. I'm not a great, I'm not a great artist. I'm not great in drawing and all that. Let me tell you that when I started with this doodling, my drawings were really a little bit embarrassing, but like everything else in this life, repetition and a lot of practice really, really helps. So a little bit of house cleaning. I have my Faber-Castell, my mechanical pencil. I love this one. I'm also using some of this. I love using this eraser, and then also the dust free. And then we'll also be using some Faber-Castell PITT artist pens. And we have here many different tips. One thing that I'd like to talk about first is that, of course, we're going to sketch our drawing first. And then after that, we're going to choose a marker to do our line art. And the PITT artist is available in many different tips. So I'm just going to quickly show you before we proceed. So the reason why I'm showing this to you is because as an artist, yes, I'd like you to call yourself an artist. As an artist, you're going to be making some choices when it comes to your personal preference for your artwork. I will show you later what's my personal marker to use when I'm drawing, and I'll show you a little bit of example why I love doing that. So let's just start with the extra small. are we having some hard time with our lighting this morning, huh? So this is the extra small tip. So you get really, really fine line like that. And I'm going to zoom in real quick so we can really see the lines that I'm drawing. There we go. So this is the extra small. As you can see, that's really fine line. And one thing also to know which one is the extra small is that it says here in the marker here, pretty cool. And then it's also in the cap. I like that because when I'm like moving around and I'm going fast, I'd like to really see which one I'm grabbing. So this one is the small. Next, we'll do the fine or the F1. So we're, as you notice, we're going a little thicker, right? So the lines now are getting thicker and thicker here. And then we have the medium. Okay. And then we have the 1.5. I like to call this the bullet tip also. Oops. Okay, that's the 1.5. I guess I'm not putting it back where it's. Next one is the brush. That is the brush. And then the next one is the soft brush. And then it also comes in with a chisel tip, which I don't have at the moment. Right. So now looking at all of these, you're going to make a choice and your decision as an artist, which one is most appealing to you, because this is what we're going to use as the line art for our drawing today. I personally like to go really thin. So in between extra small and small, and also have my lines thin and thick. When you say thin and thick, how can you combine the thin and thick together? I can get those lines by using either the brush or the soft brush, because the way you can get a thin and thick line using the brush pen is by applying different amount of pressure when you're drawing or when you're lettering. So this time we're drawing, we're going to be talking about how we can get thin and thick lines. So when you're going up or away from your body, okay, this is when you do your thin line. So every single time you're going away from yourself, this is when you have to do your thin line, or we'd like to call it also the upstroke. All right, but every time I would go towards me, I would apply pressure. See the difference between the thin, I'm using the tip of the brush pen, and every time I would go towards me, see how the pen is really bended? This is when I can get really a thick line. So this is called the downstroke. Now together, you can create thin and thick by applying thin going up and thick going down. Light pressure and heavy pressure. And this is, I love using that when I'm lettering and also when I'm drawing. So even when you're drawing circle, let's say. So I'm going towards me, so I'm going to apply pressure, and then I'm going really light and use the tip of my pen to really create a thin line like that. So I'm going towards me, heavy pressure, away from me. I'm going to go apply really light pressure or thin line. Okay, so this is my personal preference. I'll be using probably the brush or the soft brush today. And I might use the extra small as well to create some small details. Now, before we start, this is really important that I want to share with all of you, even with now that I have been drawing for a very long time, I still really like to start with some of the basic strokes. And when I talk about the basic strokes, I know you might think, but that's too boring. I really just want to go jump in and start drawing. I understand. Trust me, I do. But sometimes the way our hands and our brain works, um, like what I said, even now that I have been doing this for a long time, I like to start with just the basic doodles. And why is learning the basic doodles very important? Because the basic doodles is what we're going to use, or the basic shapes is what we're going to use to draw a picture or a character. And some of the basic shapes and strokes that I'd like you to practice would be just drawing circles. This time I'm using the small, so just so you can see, just basic, simple circles. Small circle, big circle, medium circle. Just get your hand and reflexes get started. You know how it is when you're working out, you kind of stretch a little bit before you run or before you do some heavy lifting. So this is our stretching. We're stretching and we're kind of like building that um, communication from our brain to our fingers and our hands. So it's telling, I'm just drawing a small circle like this, big circle. All right. So after you draw your circles, try your lines. So up, side down, going from down to up, doing your vertical, do your horizontal from left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left, slanted, other side. This is where you're going to get used to creating your lines. Your lines are not going to be as shaky as it is in the beginning because you're stretching, you're practicing. So create like dashes of lines, broken lines, like that. Another stroke that I'd like to practice would be um, this upside down U, this, and then create your letter U as well. Another upside down. So we can call that kind of like we're building scallops too. So this time, like, see this by doing and practicing this basic strokes, we're going to create that. And then kind of do some wiggly lines with me. All right. I hope you're doing this practice. This is important. Let's try and do that again. Wiggly lines. Right. Now let's try to do some slanted lines like this. From left to right and then from right to left. And I just go like that. Okay. What else should we do? Let's just try some wiggly like this. More wiggly lines. This is where you're going to build control for in your hands. It's kind of like building a muscle memory so that next time you don't have to do a whole lot of this, but just a basic to kind of get you started with your drawing and you get relaxed and you get more comfortable, find the most comfortable position when you're drawing. And also make sure that when you're trying to draw things like this, remember when I said when you're doing your lines upside down, up, down, from down to up, or left to right, or right to left. This is one thing that I want you to also think about. What what is it that feels natural the most to you? Is it when you do something like this, or is it when you do something like this? Which one is it that you have better control? See, sometimes I go a little big because this is where I'm most comfortable at, from left to right. Sometimes when I'm doing right to left drawing, I don't have much control over what my hands are doing. But with practice, you can always do it. All right, so we have covered our basic strokes. Great job. We can, when you're doing your circles, try to do some oval as well, like this, you know, in different sizes. Ah, circle. Oh, another one before we go is I'd like you to do a little bit of spiral like this. This is really a good practice of control. Oops. See how the other one has much bigger space because I'm losing control of my hand. And it gets a little extra too big. So you stop where it feels most comfortable. I'm going to try from right to left too. My right to left is really going crazy. Let's try that again. Let's do right to left. Come on. All right. That is much better. So see, with practice, you can always be better and better and better. It might not be perfect, but practice makes it better. And that's good because that's what we want. All right. So we have done our basic strokes. Now we're going to go and create some cute leprechaun and some things. It's going to be a St. Patrick's theme. It's really important when you're drawing to have a set of pencils which you love, and have your journals. I always say this, if you can get a sketchbook, it's really great to have your own sketchbook, because having your own sketchbook, what it does is that it just gives you a reference, something that you can look back on and say, oh, you know what? I really did well in this drawing, or, I'm getting better and getting better and better. So it will motivate you. It will inspire you to just keep going. You don't have to get an expensive one, get the simple sketchbook where you can. And if possible, if you'd like to, please try and put some date into your sketchbook. I always forget it. But after a while, if I finish this whole sketchbook, I'm going to write in from year, let's say 2020 to 2021 or 2021 to 2022. And that way I will know, oh, this is, my past drawings back in that year. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some basic St. Patrick's theme. How about we learn first the basics? Let's try and do some cover. Okay. This is really simple. Once I understood how to create this, because at first I'm like, how do you make that? We all know how to create heart, right? To draw heart. So draw a heart first. Try to be mindful with your shape, not too big, not too small. I'm going to zoom in. Here we go. So we did a heart. So this time we're going to go from here to here and create another heart. Okay, so I'm going from this end where my heart ends, the point, and I'm going to draw this way first. And then I'm going to draw that way. All right, and then where we stopped again is where we're going to pick up. I'm going to draw one and then draw another one. And then we're going to draw that one. There we go. That was super simple. Let's try to do it again. So another heart, right? One thing that I need to work on is I make my first heart really big. So be mindful of that one. Okay. From where I left off, I'm going to pick it up from there and try to do your heart one stroke at a time. See, just one part of the heart first and then the other part. There we go. Now we can do it like this. Now, if we feel lucky, try to do 4. So we're going to do very slanted heart. So here, ooh, that looks wonky. Right, kind of like leaning to the left. And then we're going to draw one that's leaning to your right. Okay. And then this one. And then from here again, from where we left off, is where we're going to draw one. And then draw another one. All right. And then you kind of add this, and that, this, and that. It's up to you if you want this like this or this way. And see, what we're doing here is really just basic strokes. Here we did the curved line. kind of like a C, but it's longer in the bottom to do the heart, right? So this is just a heart. And then when we did that stalk of that clover, we just created like slanted line like that. I do a lot of slanted line because I love the kawaii drawings. And kawaii drawings are very simple to draw because they're very minimal. They don't have a whole lot of details, basically just shapes and all that. So if I want to draw like let's say a coin, right? So St. Patrick. So we'll draw us a coin. It's a circle. And so I'll basically just copy what I did here, but kind of meet that one in the side. We're kind of creating a drop shadow of the coin and just adding a little bit of lines to just give it a little bit of texture. So this is my coin. And so if you want to put in, say 10, and then just draw a cute face, 2 eyes, and a tiny mouth. And also that's another thing with kawaii. Think of everything as round or on the chubby side and everything tiny. Don't try to make too big of eyes. Try to make like 2 simple cute dots like that. So when you want to make like small faces like that. All right. Okay, so this time we're going to try and draw, a treasure. Let's see. So remember, we did that slanted line. Basically, we're going to do the same thing. It's like a U, but really a stretched U like this. If you want to call that U, but it's really more like a slanted line. And then we're going to repeat the process, just the same shape. We're just copying that shape we did, right? And then this time we're going to close this in by creating a like letter C. Then a C backwards again. All right. So this time we're really going to create a U. So again, think of it in the chubby way. So you really want to spread this U like this, like that. And then I'm going to repeat that line that we created there, but I'm just going to do here. Then just another one below it. All right. And then I'm going to draw another face, and I'll show you another cute face that you can do. Like an upside down U or a letter C. And then I'll add those slashes. And then I'll add another cute tiny mouth there. Super cute. And then this time we're just going to do like letter C's again. Or half circles. Create some gap in between. Like that. So we're just building our coins in here. Gold coins. Like that. So we created the treasure. All right. So now we're going to head on over and try to sketch. I'm going to change my paper so I can really have a clean paper here. So we're going to try and do our leprechaun. This is going to be fun. I have to look at my cheat sheet so I can recreate this one. Because when I'm drawing or when I'm creating like characters or artwork like this, I am so in the moment. I am just like super focused and I kind of let my imagination run wild. So what I want you to do is if you're just beginning with doodling or drawing, I want you to really get inspiration from other artists, and that's okay. You know, you can look up images on Google and say, what does a cute leprechaun look like? So you kind of get that idea from there. Oh, you get the hat, you get this boots, you get a belt. That's kind of what you're going to see if you're going to Google St. Patrick's. So I want you to get inspiration from this drawing, but after a while, I want you to challenge yourself and kind of change something about the drawing. And that's how you're going to improve, and that's how you're going to build your own, I'm trying to say, you're going to build your own style as an artist. All right. Okay. So let's see. We're going to draw her hat first. So remember what we did with that treasure? Okay, with the pot of gold. So we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to do the slant, right? Okay. I'm going to repeat the same process like that. Close this in, close that in. Right, so we're going to build a hat, top hat. So from here, I'm gonna make this one really big, like this. Okay, and then go like that. Did you see? It was just slanted. Everything's like slanted lines. From here to there, again, another slanted line, but going up and down, upside down like that, kind of like making a rainbow. And then from here to here. So that's our top hat. All right, and then we're going to create this part. So again, more slanted lines, just one stroke after the other one. That's it. And here, I'm going to make this. We're basically creating a square over here. So see, it's just one line after the other and then one shape after the other. So what I want you to do here is I want you to use your imagination. Do you want to add a clover? Do you want to add a flower? Do you want to add a big coin over here to decorate the hat, her hat? I think I'm going to draw a clover. So, like what we did earlier, and I just did those hearts and all that. Okay. Okay. And don't worry if your lines are like on top of one another, because we're kind of going to erase it and we're going to use a marker to really create our final drawing. Now, when I created this character, I was kind of thinking of a gnome as well. So I wanted to mix the gnome and also create a leprechaun. So I have this big nose. And so we're going to just draw an oval. So let's create this oval right here. That's a big nose. It's so cute. And then let's draw the mouth. Now, or the face, when I did the face, think of it as kind of like you go slanted a little bit and then like this. Then pick it up from there, or if you want to start here, whatever feels natural, and go like this, right? So it's not exactly a U, although you can do a U first to not feel, overwhelmed. But what I did was, let's try it again. So slanted, kind of like went on the side, and then I created this. I stopped over here. And then I'm going to pick up and then repeat the same process, but the opposite way. So that's how I did the face. So I'm going to go back to this and then create. So this is where I'm going to start, where that hat is. Okay, and then so I think I kind of made it too big. So I'm just going to go a little smaller like this. And I'm going to stop in the middle of the nose, her nose, like this. Then repeat the same process from here. Sometimes my hands doesn't listen. Like, right. Okay, then we're going to draw. This I'm going to make her mouth a little bigger. And then we're going to draw an ear. It's kind of like a C. Like that. Just kind of add the lines of the ear. I'm just drawing like really C's and C's, or like slanted U, upside down U. All those shapes is what I'm using here. Okay, so we're going to add the hair. Oh, we should have done the hair first, huh? Okay, it's okay. We can start from here, where the ears. So just kind of like letter C. And I go back from here. So remember when we did the face, we kind of did those slanted lines. That's what we're going to do here. Just kind of slanted lines like that. And then copy, repeat the same process, go here. And I'm going to go from here. So we're going to create like a really puff braids in here. So like that. Slanted. And then go side, go side. You want to play with your shapes and your size. It's okay. It's up to you. Okay. And then we stop there and then we kind of add like a little ponytail in there. So basically a small rectangle. Like that. All right. And then to create the hair, kind of what we did the face, like the same thing. So here slanted like that. And then I'll do the same thing here. And I'm going to curve my line over here to create the point of the hair. All right. I'm really not happy with this here. So I'm going to adjust this part. So this is where you're going to adjust a little bit, things that you're not happy about. That's what you can do. And that is why I love using pencil when I'm drawing, is because if I'm not happy with something, I can just, erase and then do it again. Okay, so we have the face. Now we're going to draw and then like a letter U here. So just below her chin. And then we're going to make half circles or letter C's upside down. That's for her collar. Okay. Now this time I'm going to make a ribbon. This is how I like making ribbons. They're simple. Like you're creating loop like this. So kind of like a teardrop. I'll just come in over there and repeat the same process and create that. Yeah. All right. I am not happy with my mouth, so I think I'm going to make it small because her nose is big and I want her mouth to be really tiny, like tiny. That's cuter. I like that. See the difference of just adjusting little things. It's okay to erase and then just to keep trying again and find that really style that you want. Okay, this is where we're going to have to be mindful and really be intentional with our lines, because one thing that's always hard when I'm creating characters is anatomy. You know, how long the arms should be, or how um, balanced the body is. But the good thing is that when we're drawing kawaii or cartoon characters like this, it's like you have to let your imagination really run wild. You can make her hands as big as you want, but of course it's not going to look normal, but it's okay. It's your character, so that's fine. So you just play around with it. But with kawaii, everything is just super simple. Like when I said basic lines and basic shapes, right? So okay, so let's just imagine her hands are like, okay, it's spread out. I'm happy. Here's blessings for you, you know. So here's some luck and all that. So I want her hands to go up, or her arms. So I'm just gonna go from here, kind of like where her face is, where her cheeks are. Like imagine that her arms are like spreading like that. And when you're trying to sketch, try to be really light and apply just, really light pressure with your sketching so it'll be easier to draw. So, yeah. Ooh, her arms are really way up there. Yeah. Then this time, it's kind of like imagining. So where we left her in the collar or the cheek also is where I'm going to from here to there. Imagine it like that. Imagine her arm like that. And then repeat the same process, but it should be wider in here, right? Because the arm should be here and then going thin, kind of like an elephant trunk also, like this. All right, we have that. Okay, so we have arms in here. We are going somewhere. It's pretty cool. Now, with this drawing, since the one that I created, she was wearing shorts and all that, this time I want to put her in a dress. Okay, so since we have the hair down here, it's hard to imagine where I can put in the dress because over here her armpits are. Imagine it, just imagine there's lines in there. Just kind of create your dress. To go line slanted over here. Like that. This one, I want to open it a little bit more. Raise this part. Just going to go from here to here. All right. And now, remember those basic strokes we were practicing earlier, the scallops or the upside down U's, like this. So this is how you're going to create that bottom of her dress. Kind of like a stretched U that way, or a big, big smile. I have a feeling my drawing is a little wonky. It's hard to look up the screen and then draw. Okay, so we have that. Now we're gonna draw her legs. Okay, so think simple like this. I know this is scary sometimes. Even my legs still at times like kind of look funny, but it's a cartoon drawing anyway, so it's not realistic. So don't feel too bad if it's not looking the best and you just have to keep practicing. So what I did was I just created slanted lines. So basically you're going from thick to thin, not too thin though. So I'll repeat the same process. Slanted, over here, slanted, here. Now we're going to add the legs. Okay. So see how it's just a little slanted here? I did a little slanted. And then over here. Okay. So that, and then repeat the same process, but the opposite way. Just be careful with how thick the calves are going to be. Here. And then repeat the same process. All right. This is your feet. Okay, so now this is where you play around. Just go really light to kind of create the feet like that. So kind of from the inside to go outside like this. Because she's like, her legs are like, her feet are like there. So it's cute. Okay. This time we're going to draw the heel. This is careful, just a little bit. Move your line, just drag your line a little bit, just little, add little by little. It's okay. So from here, we're going to draw the feet. Tiny. So small, 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 adding my lines a little bit. You have, if you need to correct it, you know, use your eraser to do that. It's okay. There. Okay, I want her to be wearing some fine stockings or socks like this. So you add where that. Just gonna, and, all right. And then this time you can decorate your shoes. So here I'm going to just do this because like that. So you can decorate your socks now if you want to add like polka dots in here, you know, or if you want stripes, you can do that also. But I'm just going to do mine in stripes. Add your stripes, be mindful and be intentional of the spaces. So of course, when you get to the lower part or to the toes, to the feet part, everything just gets kind of smaller. So erase this polka dots. So you can draw clover inside her socks, you know, so it's up to you. That's going to be up to you what you'd like. Just going to be mindful. It's this. Everything's just kind of getting smaller. The spaces in between your stockings, like that. All right, let's not forget the hands. Now the hands for the Kawaii character are super simple. Basically, you can just create like a round like this and just add a thumb. So, or you can start with a thumb and then kind of create like upside down letter C or circle, half circle like that. That's what you have. Yee! Okay. So I know it's kind of counterproductive, but we're going to erase it very, how can I say it? Faintly, or not too crazy that you don't want to lose all your lines. That's why I love using this eraser, because I can just go in like this and it's going to erase some of the lines. You can always like that, so you don't have those dark lines, but you still want the lines because we're gonna use some marker to create the line art. That just go really light. And then we can always clean it up later also if you have those dark things from your eraser. And I understand those gets a little frustrating, but just go light one area after the other. So when you feel like you have enough guide to create your line art, just stop in there and then we can erase again later. But make sure you still have your guide for your drawing, okay? Because you don't want to lose that. So this time we're going to, now the choice is yours, what marker you'd like to use. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so we can see the whole drawing. Now you don't see anything, but it's there. The drawing's still there, but you just can't see it very well because it's really, really faint. Right. So, but I see where it's at. I can see where my lines are. I'm going to go back in with the marker. This time, I think I'm going to choose, this is scary. Soft brush is really hard to get used to sometimes because the brush is, well, it's very soft. So sometimes it's hard to navigate and to control the strokes, but I really love the thin and the thick line that I get from using the soft brush. So I'm gonna just try and use it. Now, here's the thing, when you're doing your hat, okay, we wanna start with the clover first because this is basically on top. Everything that's on top, we try to do that first. So let's do our clover, or if you added flower in there, you start with that. And I'm going really light with my soft brush Pitt Artist pen because I really want to go thin lines in here. All right. Okay. Thin lines. And I also love the imperfect look of my lines. That's, as an artist, that's my personal preference. So we're going to do the buckle of the hat. Go in there. And do that. Now I'm going to draw the top hat. See how I had thick lines here, but this was really thin? That is because of the amount of pressure that I'm putting in when I'm using the brush. So I'm applying pressure, not too much, just enough. I'm going to go back down. Really great, this one. So let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can really see the lines, right? So see how I love these imperfect look. That's just my personal preference. I like it. I like it a lot. It kind of like, the more imperfect it is, and I really love it. But there are times when my artwork needs some consistent lines. So that's when I use the other tip of the Pitt Artist. So then I'm gonna do this like in the middle. Now I'm going really, really light to create those lines. All right, now we're gonna do her cute big nose. Sometimes I feel like when I'm drawing and I'm going really slow, sometimes I feel like I'm not getting enough control. So like what we talked about earlier, find out what feels the most natural to you. If you feel like you can get better lines when going fast, then do it, you know? So whatever you feel like you can get better results, do that. I'm going to draw her face now. Ooh, like that. So remember earlier, I wasn't really super happy with, because I created the ears first. So this time I want to start with the hair first, but then I still have the sketch of my ears and I can always correct it. This is when you're doing your line art, this is the time to correct the things that you didn't like about your first initial sketch. So this time I'm going to try and do my hair first. So I'm going to start from here to here. So I'll try to do the braids here. So there, we have the slanted. And then now I can add the ears. And then from here, I'll create another slant to create my braids like that. Like this. Oh, there. Right, so from here, go in this, and then I'll just keep creating my braids and go over the lines where I created earlier in my sketch. That's why it's important that when you are erasing your things, your sketch, make sure to have enough where you can really see your sketch so that you don't get confused when you're doing your line art. So I'm going to go over this and create my hair. All right. Then I'll go in and create this because I want us to have enough time to color this one. All right. I should have used another tip for that. That's okay. Now we'll draw the arms. Go from here to there. Draw that. And draw my hand. And draw this. I want you guys to always remember that everybody is an artist. Everyone is an artist. The more you practice, the more repetition, everything will just become so much, much, much easier. But you really have to spend time with your art and your drawing every day to create. So just adding small details in there. Now I am going to do her dress. Okay. And I'm going to draw her legs. So basically now we're just going over the lines we created earlier. That. Here you go. And I'll stop over here. Create the pattern for the stockings. There we go. Did you guys add stripes also or polka dots? There. You can also decorate her dress. You can put in, you know, other things inside that. You can create pattern. You can add polka dots, or you know, you can put in a clover in there. So it'll look cute. All right, so let me zoom out real quick so we can see the whole picture. There is our little leprechaun. Super cute. Okay, so this time I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup. So where I could see some of the sketches, just going to go over my drawing and kind of clean up. But go light because you don't want to mess your, I don't know what marker you have, but you don't want to mess with your line art. So I go really light pressure with your hand. Just go really soft like that. Okay. We're just going to do a little bit of cleanup. Okay. So before we proceed coloring this, I really want to talk about this Faber-Castell Polychromos. These are my favorite colored pencils. This is oil-based, and it means that your drawings, if you're going to use these colored pencils, your kids, your grandkids, the future will still see your artwork because this is light fast, which means it's not going to fade. Your colors are not going to change. It's going to stay vibrant. And also, I love that it has a thick lead. It's a 3.8 lead, which means it's going to be, you're not going to end up with broken tips every single time. And that gets super frustrating when that happens. I get really frustrated when my tips get broken and then have to keep sharpening it. And also another tip that I'd like to share with you is make sure when you use your colored pencils, make sure that you always sharpen them, because this way you can get, you can create so much with them. And we're going to talk about that later because I'm going to show you different ways how to use your colored pencils. Okay, what I like to do when I'm coloring and when I'm creating kind of like 3D look to my drawings or to my colors is that I get the same color, but in different values. Okay, so what does value mean, right? So when I say I want green, okay, so that's a green, but this one is a green too. This one is a green also, and this one, and so this. So you have different values of the same color. You have a lighter shade, you get medium, or you get darker, you know, darkest. So I like to usually have three. I have my lightest, let's pick our lightest, and then I have a medium, and then I have my dark. All right, so we're gonna do that. And what color should we use to create the dress? Maybe a green for her dress. I think that's a good idea. So we're going to, now when I am going to, something wrong with my camera? Not sure. It's not showing. Let's see this. I'm going to turn it off real quick. Hold on. Okay, so is my camera back on? Is it okay? We're back. We're good. Okay,
It looks like I'm not able to see your overhead right now.
right now? That is really weird, huh? Let's do this. Never usually have this problem with this. Okay. So do you guys have all your, Maddie, I'm gonna go log in, okay? Log back
Okay,
in.
sure.
Okay, so you have all your colors ready. Make your choices, what you want to use for your dress, for your stocking. So choose your colors, and then we're going to proceed with coloring everything. So here we go, while I'm trying to log back in. So I think I'm going to color my dress green, and then I'm going to color my top hat. This is really hard. I'm not sure what I want. I think I'm going to color it maybe yellow and orange. I think that's good. So let's try to do yellow and orange for that. And then we'll add a little bit of pink in there. Maybe the stockings will be pink. So again, if you have your colors, make sure you have the same, different values of that color. So I'm going to try and log back in here.
And I'll take the moment to remind everyone that this class has been recorded. And if you want to go back and watch it again, it will be uploaded to Michael's YouTube channel by tomorrow.
There we go. Yeah, so you can always come back in and watch it for some parts that you feel like you need to rewatch and relearn again. My camera is not being nice to me. So we're going to go back. I think we'll just use this one and we'll try to switch over so you guys can see. Let's try and do this one. Maddie, can you see the drawing, the coloring over here?
If you're able to bring it down on your desk towards you a bit more, you're drawing physically towards you, then yeah, I think it's in frame now.
Okay, so we're going to do, is it too bright, Maddie?
It is overexposed right now, yeah.
Right now? So what you guys can do is start coloring. Okay, here we have it. So are you coloring your dresses? I don't know what you guys are doing right now because my camera's not being nice to me, which I don't know why. It's not being super nice. So let me grab this one. And maybe use this a little bit so they can see. Are they getting dizzy now? Okay, the one thing that I'd like to share first is if you're coloring in, that'll be great. So one thing that I'd like to do first is teach you what is important when it comes to using your colored pencils. If you want to add like super details in your colored pencils, you have to use the tip of the colored pencils. So if you want to do a little bit of patching like this, I don't want you to close your eyes first. Let me do this real quick. There we go. So if you want to do like details, you want to use the tip of your colored pencils. But if you would like to use the base, and if you want to cover a lot of coloring, then you want to use the body of the colored pencils this way. So you kind of slant it a little bit 45-degree angle this way. So see? But when you start coloring, you start with the lightest first. Try to use the lightest color. All right. So we're going to try and use the lightest color that we can. So I'm going to try with the lightest green, and just by using the base and how my colored pencil is slightly slanted this way. So slant your colored pencils. Like, there we go. Super, super. See there. So start with your lightest and just really apply very, very light pressure. Because with colored pencils, what you can do with it is you can build up your colors, and it's going to give you a much better result than just having a flat color. So by doing it, holding it slightly 45-degree like this, So, and also applying really, really light pressure. What we're going to do is we're going to try and build up. So just light pressure. And then now if you're in the corner, so always go one way first, right? So one side. So I'm going to go really here and go. So when you're trying to build your colors, instead of, I remember when I was little, when I was trying to color, what I would do is I would do a border on every single corners, kind of like recreating the drawing that we created, which is kind of little. If you want to become better at it, what you can do is instead of creating those lines, what you can do is you go in circle motion like this, like that. And this is how you're going to build up your colors. So I'm like going really slow and build up your colors and all those corners, right? And then I'm going to go on the other side and repeat the same thing and go in circles with your colored pencils. Instead of line, you're going to go in circles. So earlier from light pressure, now we're going to go a little medium pressure just so we can pack up the colors in there. And again, I'm still holding my pencil lightly, kind of like 45-degree angled. I'm going round in circles like this instead of just one line. So I kind of messed up my lines over here. So I'm just going to redo it over here. And add some colors over here. Like, and then I'm going to go pick up the medium color that I have. So hold on a second. I'm going to go and pick up the medium shade and repeat the same process by just kind of going in circles. So you just repeat that one and go over here. This time it's going to really build up some color. So we're creating shadows in here now. So I'm going to go over here too. I'm going to do this. There. This time your coloring is not going to be flat. It's not going to be boring. You're creating kind of like a 3D look, because if you see a picture, everything in there is like different shades and different values and different shadows, and there's highlights and there's shadows in there. So you want to do that in your coloring when you're coloring, but instead of laying down your colors in the beginning and going really hard at it already, it's much harder to build up your colors. So remember to always go light in the beginning and go a little bit in circular motion when you're packing in your colors. So kind of like in between where your hair is. So go over there and just go in tiny circles, so you don't get sharp lines from your colored pencils. So I'm just going in, but just creating this circular motion here. Because naturally where this hair is, basically we're just creating the shadows, drop shadows over here. And here as well, go over here and do the same thing. Now I'm going to go pick up the darkest color as well. I know we're running out a little bit of time. We're over our time already, but that's how you want to add in. And then you want to add in your darkest color, because it's really important, just in the corners. And by repeating that same thing that we did, like circular motion, and just don't worry about applying too much pressure, because you're already packing in your colors, even when you're going light, and just going around in circles like this, like that. And what I love to do is that after applying all the three values, the lightest to the medium and to the dark, what I like to do is pick up my lightest color that I use in the beginning and kind of go over the same color again. And this is how you're going to blend in all those colors super beautifully. Like that. So how you blend those 3 colors in is by using that lightest color that we used earlier. And that way it's all going to blend in and they're all going to look super pretty. So. All right, but if you have any questions for me before I let you guys go, you can leave them in the chat section. But I hope that you enjoyed today's class with us. This is super fun because you can create a card by using your own drawings. You know how special that is? It's always super special. So the tips that you've learned today, make sure to start with your basic strokes. It's really important to practice. Don't get overwhelmed. It's just one shape after the other. It's just one stroke after the other. And also, the most important thing to learn is that practice makes everything better. Not perfect, because it's hard to aim for perfection. So just try to always be better, get better and better every single time you draw, and really spend some time with your creative project. All right. I hope everybody had fun. Again, my name is Lay, and thank you, Faber-Castell, for hosting this fun workshop. Thank you so much, Michaels. We all had a great time. And until next time, you guys stay creative and always stay happy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Lay. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Bye now.